Did you know Hirohiko Araki, the creator of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, uses this one secret method to design all of his most iconic characters? I'm Andy, manga creator, and in this video I'm going to be breaking down all of the principles on Araki's secret technique to mastering character design so that you too can become a character design genius and be able to draw and design characters on par with some of the most iconic and legendary characters in all of anime. If that sounds interesting, strap in because we're going to be covering 3 main things that will make you a character design expert just like Araki, and we'll be spilling the sauce on his secret method all in this video. First out of 3 things that we're going to cover is what is even the point of a character design. The point of a character design is to communicate information about the character immediately upon viewing the character. How can you communicate the character's personality, their goals, their ideals, their beliefs, all by the way the character is drawn? We can see the way Araki does this by the way that he exaggerates his character's proportions and poses them, along with the outfits they wear, their hairstyles, and even their facial expressions. We can take a character like Jotaro Kujo from JoJo's Part 3 and look at the way that he's drawn. Look at the way that Araki draws his broad shoulders, his sharp jawline, his overall muscular frame, and the colors that he uses. This is meant to show us that this is a character with a dominant and confident personality who is a no-nonsense kind of guy. What other characters in fiction and media can you think of that just by looking at the character, we can immediately tell so much from their personality? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see what you guys come up with. So when you go about designing your characters, make sure you're asking yourself, what is this design communicating to the audience about my character? How am I sharing information about my character purely by the way they look without having to actually say anything? Second important thing out of 3 before I reveal Araki's secret is utilizing the power of posing. No secret that Araki is a master of dynamic and theatrical posing. Araki, being inspired by high fashion, classical theater, and classical arts as a whole, has made character posing an iconic part of his style, which makes his characters stand out, making them especially unique and memorable. One great example of this that we can look at is the way that Araki draws Josuke. These exaggerated, fun, and almost flamboyant poses really helps to capture Josuke's lovable, charismatic, and fun personality, showing him as a confident, courageous, and standout kind of guy. Can you think of any other iconic character poses that really capture the personality of the character while making them stand out and be incredibly memorable? One that I can think of off the top of my head would be the Gear 5 pose for Luffy from One Piece. Look at the way he's covering his face, look at the way that he's laughing and bouncing around, perfectly encapsulating what the character is. Let me know which character pose you think in the comments is the most iconic. A great way that you can implement this is that when you draw your characters, instead of drawing them in an easy sort of default pose of them just standing there looking at the camera, think about the different ways you can show them, position them, even adding props into the scene for them to interact with, to tell us the viewer exactly who this character is. And finally, the third and final method, Araki's big secret method that he utilizes to create the most iconic characters in anime and manga, is his ultimate character history template. This is really a combination of tip 1 and tip 2 taken to the absolute extreme. If you didn't know, Araki has a character history template that he uses when designing all of his characters that has every single tiny bit of information about the character to the smallest, most minute detail. This allows him to have a perfect and ultimate understanding of the character before he even begins to think about designing the character. When you look at the template, not only does he have things like the name and nickname, age and gender of his characters, but he has things like blood type, birthplace, whether or not they wear glasses, whether or not they're colorblind, do they have cavities, history of surgeries, have they won any awards, what were their formative experiences during childhood, who were their lovers, what are their relationships like, do they have any siblings, what is their favorite color, what are their habits. Like, Araki really goes into excruciating detail, knowing every single element about his character before he even begins thinking about designing the character. This is the exact opposite of what a lot of other artists do, including myself. Before learning this secret method of Araki's, I used to just draw off the top of my head whatever was the first design that just kind of came to mind, without really putting too much thought or detail into really getting to know my characters. Because of this, this would result in a lot of characters that were really flat, kind of boring, were not particularly memorable or eye-catching at all. Look at some of these early character designs. What do these tell you about the character? Does it really communicate much to you? Are these characters particularly memorable? Now we can compare it to the way that I design my characters after utilizing Araki's method. All of a sudden, you can tell a lot more about the character just by looking at the design and pose. In the before, you have nothing really much more than a character who's just kind of standing there. However, in the after, you can see the armor, you can see the way the character is posed. Even by looking at the strong facial expression and the look of determination, you can tell this is a no-nonsense kind of character who is a serious, driven knight ready for combat. So while working on my own manga story, I can see a massive difference in the way that my character designs have come about and in the way that my character designs have been received from people just by utilizing Araki's methods and techniques. And other people's opinions aside, even just for myself, I've had so much fun designing characters, thinking through their personalities, their lives, and everything about them before designing them, and it's really allowed me to take my creativity to the next level. I mean, this method is such a goldmine that I've even started implementing it even when I draw backgrounds. How can I use this method to make my backgrounds, instead of just boring backdrops that I dread drawing, and rather transform it into a fun and vibrant part of the story? So let me know, do you have characters in your story or in your manga or in your comic book or series that you're working on? And how has Araki's secret method helped you elevate the way that you draw your characters and the way that you're going to approach character design going forward? Let me know in the comments. Along with that, I'm going to link Araki's character design template totally for free in my Patreon down below. Just click the link to my Patreon below and you'll have access to it publicly 100% for free. Thank you for watching this video, and if it helped you out, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, because that goes a long way letting me know that you guys liked the video and it helped you, along with letting TikTok know so they can push it out to more people who might benefit from this video. If you want to see more videos like this, please let me know and I'll be happy to make more videos of this format, and I will catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching.